Welcome to my review, as we're talking about two sets here with 75386 and 75373, and since they were designed to go so well together, I thought why not combine them into one review and not waste your time with two separate reviews and try to make them a little shorter than they would be separately. I don't know if I'm going to succeed here, as I still feel like I'm going to be talking for like 25-30 minutes, so buckle in, strap down, and I hope that you can pay attention, stay all the way to the end. I do understand if you want to skip around. I am going to try to have some chapters so that if you just care about the minifigures or just care about the builds or want to know the pros and the cons, you can kind of do that. But on 75386, I call it the Mando Bunker, which maybe some of you do too. Moff Gideon versus Paz Vizla battle does come with 4 minifigures. Release does cost you $40 and has 286 pieces. And then the 75373 releases cost you $20, comes with 4 minifigures and 109 figures. So altogether they are $60. I'm going to find out if they are worth that $60 price tag, or maybe should they have been a little bit cheaper. You know, I obviously don't mind paying less for my Legos, and I bet you don't either. So we're going to be kind of harsh on these. We're going to give them really let them have it. Take off the gloves. The gloves are coming off, and they're going to get the full finger punch. But why are we getting these sets? Well, we're getting them because they couldn't be released with the rest of the Season 3 sets because they included kind of a major spoiler, that being in the Paz Vizla scene. These are made to take place versus those last 2 episodes, but really that end of episode 7 with Paz Vizla taking on the Praetorian Guards, and then Moff Gideon needed to be in these sets. I'm so glad that we are actually getting him. I was really surprised that there wasn't any customs that came out over the last year, and really kind of waiting for this set to kind of happen. This does take place with Season 3. We got 3 other sets, making this in total 5 great sets you can pick up to recreate scenes from Season 3, which is great. It's a $300 wave, which isn't terribly expensive. It's not cheap either by any means, and I'm overshooting it by price. It's actually under $300, but give you a really good estimate. But you have so many sets with the Snub Fighter, the tank, the Spider Tank, and then the Fang Fighter versus TIE Interceptor, which that last that I mentioned would go really well with this set. Not only do you get another Mandalorian, you also get that Fang Fighter versus TIE Interceptor, which kind of briefly appeared kind of in background shots. So not really, but you get some good minifigures with that. And then you have these 2 sets, which combine really well together to kind of create that bunker scene. You can set up your Praetorians and really create Moff Gideon taking them on. And in your world, you can recreate whether he dies or not. So if you want to be accurate or you want to create your own story, you can do that here, because that's what's so great about Lego. But these are taking place about, spoiler alert, Paz Vizla's kind of demise. Starting off with the box of boys, the Mando box of boys here, you got 4 great minifigures. We're going to start off with the male Mandalorian, because you got a really nice helmet there. Looks really nice. It's worn, it's scuffed, it's marked up. You got the antenna that you can stick on there with the accessory pack, and then continuing on down, you got the torso. It doesn't have any arm printing, but for a $20 battle pack, I'm not expecting that. That's not standard for Lego. And definitely not in Star Wars. That is for sure not happening in Star Wars. But the torso looks really nice. It's worn. It's marked up. This guy has been through the battle. And then you got that continuous print into the legs, which also has some toe printing. And then more scuffs, marks, metal. He's got the Beskar armor on. Like, this looks really good, and I'm really happy on how he turns out. You turn around to the back, you get the nice gunmetal gray jetpack. And if you remove the helmet, you see the black head underneath, and underneath the jetpack, you get just some very minor back printing on that rear Beskar plate. The next figure is the Owl. Thank you. The Night Owl minifigure, which is the female version. She has a nice little owl T-visor on her helmet, more scuffs, marks, and different shadings of wear and metal on her helmet. And you get that nice dark blue look you had with the male version, and more scuff marks on that armor as well. And no arm printing, same as the rest of these minifigures. And yeah, that continuous print right down into the leg print, and then some toe printing. Her legs do have different variations of the thigh armor, which looks really nice. This is a great addition to your Mando army if you're trying to build that. Then lastly, you got the two Imperial Commandos, both looking exactly the same. They got a brand new helmet mold, which is really cool here. Really cool to get a brand new helmet mold in a $20 battle pack. The two have really thick visors, which is kind of a problem for me. I'm not the biggest fan of it. By no means is that going to stop me from collecting these if I want them. They have what seems like dual molded helmets, and maybe I'm a little bit wrong about that. No arm printing, and they've got some pretty great torso print that just looks really great here. I think that they're well done for a brand new minifigure. And they got continuous printing from the torso right into the legs, which you know just how much I love that. And I think LEGO did a really good job with these guys. The toe printing really ties everything together. And if you turn them around to the back, you'll see on the back side they do have a jetpack, which is the same jetpack. It's not a new piece, just hasn't been used in like 5 years since the 2019 Rise of Skywalker Sith Troopers, or Sith Jet Troopers, which I think that those were done in red, and this time it is in white. Then you got a 1x1 printed tile that goes really nicely there. Remove their helmets. They do have black heads like the other Mandalorians, and then you remove their jetpacks. They just got some minor printing underneath. I want to move on to the Mando Bunker minifigure. Starting off with Moff Gideon, he's a brand new helmet. The red and black look so well together, which is kind of why I like the Dark Falcon that's coming out. Those colors go really well together. But you got a brand new helmet here with the red and black, with 5 horns on the helmet, and it's a wider base as well, which I've heard some people say that they should just reuse this design for the Pedro Pascal Mandalorian, which I just don't think it would work. That wide base just is too flared out and is not the same type of helmet. It just doesn't work. And then you got the armor print going on there. Look really nice. More red and black going well together. Lights and all kinds of things that he's going on. Like a Mandalorian Darth Vader kind of is how we're kind of going for here. But I think it works really well. Light printing is seamless from the torso to the legs. And then you got some toe printing there as well. No arm printing on him. And he is missing a couple things like his cloth cape. The red black cape that he had in his previous version should have been in this set, as well as some sort of weapon. And I don't care if it was accurate or not, he should have had some kind of weapon. If he's going to be an enemy minifigure, he's got to be able to fight, and that's something, you know, I think that he should have had at least one of the Praetorian staff, an extra one of those that you could have built for him. And as inaccurate as that scene would have been, being able to have kids play with him and have him fight, it is something that you should have been able to do. On the backside, he does have that jetpack that came in the 2019 Rise of Skywalker, this time in black, and much like the Imperial Commandos, he has that 1x1 tile. And I do think underneath should have been a cape, but is not. Now if you remove his helmet, he does have a double-sided face, and you can throw his hairpiece on top as well. Underneath the jetpack is just some minor printing, and that's pretty much it. And you have Paz Vizla here, which we've gotten before in 2021 with the Season 2 Armor's Forge set. And he does look really good here. He is a different Paz Vizla. He's not just the same one, but there's very minor differences. The helmet looks almost identical, but if you turn around to the sides of the helmet, you'll notice that there is some printing, trying to print the little short wings, because you can't just give him a little accessory pack and call that good. Like, even if you cut those, they wouldn't connect anymore. You need the top of the wings, you need them to be shorter, and redesigning accessories for that just wasn't a good idea for LEGO to do. It was too much R&D and would raise the cost of the set. And then he's got a brand new weapon, and he's got really good printing going on. If you do remove his shoulder piece, it's a seamless, same kind of print that's on the shoulder piece is also on the torso, although the real shoulder print is only on that shoulder piece and not on the arms in any sort of way. Then the legs are seamless from the torso to the legs, which I really like, which you've heard me talk about way too much here, and I'm so sorry about that. And then you got some toe printing to finish it out. Last but certainly not least, you got the Praetorians, which are probably my least favorite figures in this set. By no means are they bad. I think they're great looking figures. Their helmets are just a little too flared, a little bit too wide, kind of using the basis for the Moff Gideon helmet as their basis for their helmet. They got a really nice T-visor going on that works for their figures because they didn't look exactly like they did in Rise of Skywalker, it's kind of combining the Imperial ones with the Force Awakens. We're not quite there during the First Order troopers and First Order Praetorians. We got the design that's kind of in between. And LEGO did a really good job capturing that. I just think that there's some things missing. With the wider helmets, they needed shoulder pieces. And if they didn't get shoulder pieces, they should have had thinner helmets. And we kind of didn't get that. Their torsos are really great, though. They have really nice printing showing off their armor. Like, these guys are tough. And that's exactly... They need to be menacing and tough. And that's what LEGO is going for here. I think the leg printing was a good decision as far as a playset, because then you can move and pose their legs really nicely and have them fighting off Paz Vizla. The problem with that is that they don't look super accurate, and I think some cloth pieces would have saved it really nicely, but if you didn't do cloth pieces, I think the skirt pieces were the next option. Although it does remove the ability to pose them super well. And then underneath their helmet is a blank red head, and on the back is some minor printing. Now, if you don't like these guys and you think some of the problems that I pointed out is a problem, there are solutions, or at least there was with GCC, and I know there's some resellers selling some of the parts. You can upgrade their helmets and legs. Now, I would agree that you shouldn't have to. They should be perfect from the get-go, but LEGO makes a lot of mistakes lately and doesn't design... LEGO makes a lot of mistakes and doesn't design things exactly the way that we, the community, would like, and that kind of happened with the Praetorians. Now you can go over to GCC, you can buy a replacement skirt and helmet, and for each of your minifigures, does come up to be about $7 per minifigures, not including the $5 shipping. Or if you want them faster, you can pay for more shipping, but that is up to your discretion. That is an option, or you can just like them however it is. I think that you could go ahead and grab some shoulder pieces from the previous Praetorians. I think they're not super expensive on Bricklink, but I haven't personally checked that out. So if anyone in the comment section wants to let the others know how much those typically run on Bricklink, you can go ahead and do so. And that would be a great add to this community. Now, since we're on the bunker and we kind of wrapped up the minifigures, let's go get into the actual set. The set is great. I really like it. You start off with the little corner piece, which, is a little awkward. You need to put it in there. You got the nice computer screen that's showing off the Mandalorian light cruiser, which was stolen from Moff Gideon, and that is a sticker. I think that the sticker was well designed. It's not the same shade of black that the piece is, but I think it works, especially being in the shadows. It's fine. You're not going to really notice it that much. I think the stickers on the set, there's just a few on the bunker set and none on the battle pack. And I think that they really tie this set in really nicely, as much as I really hate putting on stickers. And I wouldn't mind at never having to put another sticker on a LEGO set. That being said, though, let's move on to other features. You do have the stickers on the front there. Looks really nice. The lights tie the set in really nicely. You got a turret tower, but the main feature is that door, which you can pull up and drop. And you can drop it, and if you add in the Mandalorian and Bo-Katan, and then throw in some Mandalorians with them, and then you drop the door, trapping Paz Vizla behind, you can recreate that scene, which is exactly why that feature is there. And then under with the turret, you can fire off one of the studs, or both studs from the stud shooters, and you can also lift up the turret and put Moff Gideon's hairpiece in there, as well as some of the extra studs. You do have a little 2x2 box that holds your grenades. Just a really good feature there. And then this does combine, but before we show you off combining, I want to talk about the battle pack. The battle pack's really good, very minor rock work. There's some lights on the side. There's clips, which I'll show you in a minute. Then for play features, you get a little turret that you can fire off a stud at your enemy. And you can position, and it's got the same grenade bin that came in the other set. And then you can position your Mandalorians on the rock work. You can have your Imperials flying on the clear piece, which you can move up and down for play. You can also even put two facing opposite directions. But now that the sets are out of the way, we can combine them. And you can combine them going horizontal or lengthwise to the table, or you can go lengthwise back to me. And we can attach them. They got clips on either side, and you just clip them in. And the same thing you can do to the other side as well. So really the option is yours on how you want to build these out, and you can buy multiple of these battle packs and really have a nice system going on here. Now I'll give you, the battle packs aren't the best rockwork build ever, which you can kind of recreate yourself and buy extra pieces or whatever and make it even better, but it's really not that bad combining them together. Now $60, is it fair? You know, we're going to go over the pros and cons, and kind of the con right away is the price. $60 is a bit of an ask. I think that it's not, these sets aren't worth the $60. I think $50 and knocking $10 off the bunker down to $30, and which I think that you'll see on sale once we kind of get into holiday season and start into Black Friday. We should see this sub $35, and maybe I'm wrong. And the bunker and the battle pack, I could see it being down a little bit beyond the $20 as well. But $20 is not too bad of an asking price. I think the 109 pieces is, you know, could have gone to about $150 for that amount that we're asking, but the 4 minifigures really make up for it. And while the bunker is kind of missing that 5th minifigure with an extra Praetorian, and honestly, I like to see under $50 sets to have one minifigure per $5, and this one's really only getting one minifigure per $10. So like, but by that math, I'm asking for double the minifigures for the same price, and especially with Star Wars, you're just not going to see that. Now, other themes like Harry Potter and superheroes kind of get, you know, a lot of minifigures, although maybe superheroes also suffers from lack of minifigures or lack of minifigure detail. You get great detailed minifigures in Star Wars, but you don't necessarily get the quantity. Most of the cons are in the bunker set, unfortunately. I love the set, and don't get me wrong, my cons on it don't mean that I don't love the set, but my cons are in the minifigures mostly. With Moff Gideon not having a cape or a weapon, or both, I think he should have had his own weapon, whether that was a rifle that he had or the Praetorian bow staff, and then the cape underneath the jetpack would have been really nice, which I did buy, which I'll be doing a separate video on how to upgrade your Moff Gideon. So stay tuned for that. That will either be a short and a video or both. And then when the Praetorian guards, really, they look really nice, but their helmet is oversized. They don't have a cloth piece or skirt piece, and if they had the oversized helmet, they could have really used the shoulder pieces, which I talked about in the minifigure review. But that, not having those pieces, not having the smaller helmet, not having a skirt piece or cloth piece are all cons to me, which is kind of the reason why I'm really looking for this to go sub $35 and kind of stay that for the rest of its life. I think that maybe, and I think also timeliness. Season 3 isn't big. Like, if these released after, right when Season 3, you know, kind of finished dropping, you know, last August, I think, was the time to release these. This 2024 June. I just think that they're a little bit late. But I want to hear your thoughts. What's your favorite parts of these sets? Let me know right down in the comments. Or what are the things that you don't like? Let's discuss that too. If you haven't already, leave a like to support this video and channel. And if you're new here and you liked this style of review, I'm planning on doing this more, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button and join our lovely community. If you want more videos just like this, I got one right over here.